guys, welcome back to another episode of Wizard101. So today we're going to go over my 160 Death Gear setup and his stats so you guys can see. I'm starting off this video on top of my death culture this time so I don't have to keep changing like I did have to on my other characters. I can't talk right now. So let's go ahead and show his stats. So currently he has 10,770 health, 468 mana, 199 death damage, which is kind of surprising. It's pretty much even with myth and damage right now. If my myth had the myth culture, he'll be at 199 myth damage, so I was kind of surprised looking at that. Usually death would be a little bit lower than myth and damage, but it's the same, 199 death damage, 55 resistance, which I think is a little bit better than my myth. So 55 universal resistance. We can up the defense opals later as well. We'll work on that. Accuracy, 31% accuracy. Of course, he has a lot of training points. Crit rating, 682. A little bit worse than the myth. So 682 crit rating, 676 block. 46 armor pierce, which is less than myth. Myth has 51, death has 46. And we got exactly 100% power pip, 80 shadow pip, 180 arc mastery, and 597 pip conversion for death. Let's go ahead and get into his gear now. So for the pets, we're using our Centurion Abby, our Mega Gulcher pet, which gives quad damage, spell proof, and death assailant. So we get the 6% pain giver, 10% spell proof, 32 crit for death with the death assailant. We got the 3% death boon on there. We also got 9 dealer and 6 giver as well socketed. So very happy with the pet. Don't really have any issues with this pet. Can go over 200 damage if you have a Quint pet, but for now this works fine. I enjoyed the extra resistance and a little bit more crit, so I'm going to keep on using this pet. I haven't felt any need to change it. Mounts, we're using Death Culture. You guys already know what the Cultures do, 3 extra damage. For the amulets, again, we're using Dragoon amulets. The stats are pretty much great for 160. Still, we can change that socket for the tier to get better sockets. We'll probably do that in the future. Eventually, you can exchange for the Aeon amulets for your Jade setups because they get more resistance, and also they have double square sockets. So if you're jading, go ahead and use that. If you guys would like to see a Jade gear setup, go ahead and put in comment section below to let me know. We'll work on getting the Aeon amulets and working on getting more of those defensive jewels so we can up our resistance and then show you guys, those gear setups. For the Atham, we're using the Macrobare. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Aeon Atham. Lots of health, mana, power pip's pretty much uniform throughout, with the usual 16, 82 block, 23 extra death damage, and you get your usual tier socket, double, circle, and your triangle sockets. So that's the usual. The boots, the Aeon boots, we got 1000 damage, 8 power pip, 147 block, 10 universal resistance, 3% death accuracy, 5 extra pierce, 119 death crit, and 42 death damage. And we can socket the sword sockets and the power sockets as well. For the robe, pretty similar stats to the boots, 1249 health, 8 power pip, 15 block, 18 resistance for universal, and 8 we got 8% accuracy, 9 pierce, 101 death crit, and 26 death damage for the cape. For the deck, we got the Aeon deck, which gives 109 health, 78 block, 59 pierce, 52 arc mastery rating. And for the hats, we got the Aeon hats, 855 health, 9 power pip, 89 block, 12 universal resistance, 5% accuracy, 6 death pierce, 163 death crit, and 35 death damage. It also gives the shield socket and 2 swords. You can mess around with those however you want and add what you need. We'll eventually put some on there, but for now I don't have anything equipped there. For the ring, we got the Aeon ring. You know, good health, good mana, 19 power pip, 88 death assailant, not death assailant, the death crit. And also the damage is 19 death damage, 14 storm. And we got the usual, you know, tier circle and the defense square opal on there for the death ring. And for the wand, we got the Aeon sword, which gives, you know, 79 block, 8 pierce for death, 120 death crit, 27 death damage, 225 death pip conversion. It also gets some storm ratings on there too. And of course the square socket, which we don't have right now, but we will eventually put one on there. But that is the wand. Now for the deck setup, we're just using our usual AoEs. I was farming Dom and Xana, but it should look more like that without those spells added. We also will usually use those Avenging Fossils. So here's what we normally would use here. I would also add some Scarecrows. Let me quickly add them in here. We also would add a few Lulus. So this is more like what I normally would use. Just some Lulus, some Deer Knights, some Scarecrows, and Ship of Fools, and of course Blades and Frenzies and Epics. So that's normally what we use. And for the extra spells we have down here, we got Deathblade for our pet, Super Dread from the wand, but we got those X'd out. We got Extra Faint, currently got that X'd out, but for boss fights we may use that. Banshee, which hits and then clears 2 blades and then put a minus 25 of weakness and health on them. So I like that. Maybe we'll use that for boss fights or maybe on PvP. We also get Age of Reckoning spell. Currently got that X out as well, and the storm spells we do as those X as well. And then we got Avenging Fossil AoEs from our Dragoon. For the treasure cards, again, we'll usually use our Spear Blades. Again, it's a newer deck. I did not have these equipped. Let me go ahead and equip them all. So again, it's all about personal preference. You can have some Death Blades in there. You can have all kinds of other different spells in there. But I like just using Spirit Blades. It's just nice and simple. I know what I'm gonna get as soon as I discard a spell. It's always gonna be a Spirit Blade. So that's what we have for the deck setup. Again, here's my stats so you guys get a quick glimpse before we close this video. There we go. So yeah, that is my Death Gear 160 setup. If you guys want to know how to get this gear, check out the 160 max gear video. It's like an hour long. I go over how to craft the gear. We'll also go over each boss and where to get it and their cheats so you guys know. And there's also timestamps in that video to help you guys skip through that video pretty quickly so you can get to where you want to go and see, you know, where to get that gear. So again, watch that video if you want to see how to get this gear. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.